Yeah, guys, we're off to a good start.
There's another one. There's another one, baby.
Am I having fun or what?
There's another one.
That is a absolutely beautiful fish. Great episode today. Stay with us, guys. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! That's what I'm talking about.
I've got a neat idea, guys. From now on, every time I hook a fish, we're gonna immediately look out at the water, look at the waves, and see what they're doing. Oh, there's one.
So you have to be careful when a fisherman tells you something. Sometimes fishermen will tell you something as if they know something for certain, when the reality is there's very little we can know about for certain out here surf fishing.
I appreciate you saying that so much.
So today should be a very nice day fishing. For one thing, it's a beautiful day out here, and hopefully the conditions out here will also give us some bites. So today I'm gonna try some bucktail. I've been pulling bucktails the past 3 weeks through the surf over here. This particular sandy beach, I fish this all the time. It's my home beach, and I can walk here from my house. So there are some steeper areas of the beach with deep areas just offside. There are some troughs, and there's oftentimes, and today there will be a well-defined beach lip, where the 1 or 2 foot step up to coming inshore, and I've been fishing right behind that and having some luck right behind that.
All excellent information. Well, I hope to learn something today. Whenever I go fishing, I don't go out with the expectation of catching anything, rather the hope of catching something, and my focus is on learning something today that can get me a little more dialed in on the fish to be a little more consistent at catching them in the future. So today I've decided I'm going to start off with a perch grub on a Carolina rig. I've got 1.5 ounce egg weight, 10-pound leader. I'll be using my flip-flops and socks motor oil with a number 2. That's a rebarb hook, and I've got my bait super glued on there.
Waves are breaking less here to the left, and then we've got a few waves breaking here right in front of me, so I'm going to try casting over those waves. Just give it a try, see what happens. I had a bite on my very first cast. To my eyes, everything looks like it has potential around here today, so my plan is to just walk and cast and comb this whole beach until I find some fish. Right here we got a pretty steep beach, and then look at all the sand crabs. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Look at all those sand crabs, man. So I wonder if that's spread across the entire beach, or if I just happen to be standing on a nice big bed right now. I'm gonna go ahead and pay attention to that as I make my way down the beach and fish. But I'm definitely gonna make a few extra casts right here just to see if anything's feeding right here on those sand crabs. There you go. Really nice, big, some big ones in the mix there. Oh, there's a fish. Fish on. Is he still on? Okay, I think I missed that fish because I wasn't paying attention. Wait, is he on? Feels pretty heavy, actually. Yeah, he's on. That's fish on, guys. We got one. Woo! Keep that line tight. First fish of the day, right in front of the sand crab bed while Vince is getting distracted. Feels like a pretty good one, too. That's going to be a nice keeper for the bag there. I'm so pumped. We're going to be firing up the smoker real soon here. That's the goal for me today, to get enough fish in the bag that I can justify putting some wood in the smoker. All right, it's a steep beach, so we're gonna use the waves to help us wash this fish up. Man, I got a feeling we're gonna come up with a great episode today. Stay with us, guys. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun. That is a absolutely beautiful fish. We're probably looking at 13 inches there, at least 12. And he completely inhaled that bait. Yeah, guys, we're off to a good start. Let's go get him. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Another one, there's another one, there's another one, baby. Just a couple casts later. Oh, stay on, stay on. Yeah, and he feels good too. He feels like a fighter, man. Pretty heavy. Look how heavy this fish is right here. He's actually taking drag. He's actually, man, he is fighting. This ought to be a good fish. This might be the biggest fish I've caught so far this year. Whoa, man, he is heavy. I can't believe, what is this, a striper? I'm telling you, he's fighting like a perch. He's fighting like a big perch. Oh boy, here comes, got a little slack. I gotta keep the, oh. That is the most sprightly perch I've caught this year yet. And I think we're looking at maybe a 14, at least 13 inches. And we got a good enough hook set that he wasn't gonna come off. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So what do you think, guys? Am I having fun or what? Yeah, I'm having fun. Let's get a little reverse long arm action going. Look at these tiny little fish out here. Ah, we could do better than that. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! That's what I'm talking about. I'm gonna share with you guys what it is that I'm seeing right here, and maybe we can pick out some things that work. First of all, I am standing on a big bed of sand crabs. Second of all, the first break is usually within casting range. A lot of times, I see the first break within casting range. So I think we've got that sort of balance point. Whoa, holy smokes, watch out, guys. Another thing I'm seeing here is that the water is sort of discolored right here. It is churned up. It has a green tint to it. And I think what that is just a sand churned up in the water out there. The water's otherwise quite clear. By the way, the tide is high and it's just beginning to go out. I really like to fish anywhere within an hour of peak tide. I like the shoulders of the tide. So if you can imagine that peak tide is the head on top, the shoulders would be just to the left and the right. And I really think that those are actually the best tides, where the tide is actually changing its tempo, changing its speed. Like I've said before, I don't think perch are that picky because I've seen hot bites happen in just about all conditions. And what the bottom line is can you find where they're at, and can you reach them and get your bait in front of them. There's another one. We're about 10 casts after our second fish. This one feels a little smaller. When they get into that last little bit of the surf right there, man, that's when they really get the best advantage. Look how hard he's pulling now. Because this is such a steep beach, as the water washes down off of it, it gives them all this current that they can use to their advantage. Not a monster, but we're going for meat today, so I can fire up my smoker, so I'll take it. Take a look at how this third fish is just kind of barely lip hooked right there. And I just want to point out that you never know how a perch is hooked, whether it's hooked really firmly or just barely hooked. So see that? So you always want to treat them with a finesse. You always kind of want to finesse them in real carefully, just to be safe, you know, just in case it's the catch of the day and it happens to be barely hooked. All right, there we go. There was a surprise fish. I was monkeying with my GoPro, and then suddenly I felt some weight on my rod. Not really shaking his head a whole lot. All right, this guy's a little too small. I think I'm gonna let him go. Let's go ahead and get him back in the water. Big head shakes, big head shakes. Oh yeah! That is the beauty of the Barred Surf Perch from California. We'll get out here, we'll catch some of these together. As you can see, I've still got the tail on my bait right there. So that lets you know they're not just picking and pecking at it like a little piranha. They're actually inhaling the whole thing. And look how big that hook is. That's a number 2. And look how far it's sitting up high. So you don't have to worry about getting your hook all the way back to the tip of the bait. You don't have to worry about using a tiny hook. As long as we're casting and cranking and rolling here, I'll go ahead with Vince's big question of the day. And that is, whatever you got going on in your life, is there anything that's got you bummed out or that you're less than satisfied with? I'd like to ask you this question. What values of yours are not being fulfilled, and what would you like to do in an attempt to fulfill those values? You can get a list of human values to help you identify which ones are not being fulfilled. Just go to values.vincegoesfishing.com. You'll find the list there. You can point to the values that are not being fulfilled, and then you can decide for yourself what you'd like to do in an attempt to fulfill those values, so that you won't have to be so dissatisfied about it anymore. Feel free to leave a comment if you'd like any help with that process, or you can contact me on Facebook, private message me if you prefer, and I'll help you hash through it. It's my honor. I've got a neat idea, guys. From now on, every time I hook a fish, we're gonna immediately look out at the water, look at the waves, and see what they're doing. Oh, there's one. I just got a bite. Look at the waves. Look at the waves. Can we identify anything that would tell us why there's fish right there right now. There's obviously a sandbar right in front of me. You can see where that wave just broke. Let's start doing that. Every time we get a bite, every time we hook a fish, immediately look out there and say, what are the waves doing? What is this spot doing? The waves are not breaking to the left, and there seems to be a small sandbar in front of me where the waves break. We're gonna see it on the next set as the next set. See that? See that little sandbar right there? So there's a sandbar out there where it's breaking. I think that's the spot right there. I think that's probably, holy smokes! I almost got my legs knocked out from under me and went face forward. That was intense. I don't even care though, I'm so focused on fishing. I don't even care. Let's just keep cranking, wait for that bite to happen, and look up and see what are the waves doing right now. Yeah, guys, let's start doing that together. Every time I hook a fish, look up at the waves, try to determine what's going on and why we might be catching a fish right now. So I'm just gonna keep rolling in case we hook up, and then we can capture what the waves were doing right before the bite, during the bite. Try to figure this all out, how this all works. That's something that I've never thought to do before. So I'm kind of excited that I just had that idea to start observing that way. That's a whole new tool that's gonna allow us to observe differently than we have before, at least the one that I have before. This just looks like a really good spot to me. There's deep water there, there's a cut to my right, and then there's these sandbars breaking right in front of me within casting range. Maybe we want to get out there and get our bait into position before the waves start breaking. That's another thought. I'm at the beginning of my retrieve right now, and we've got a breaker rolling in at the mid zone. Oh yeah, there. I got a bite. I did get a bite right there as that wave was washing in, and that was probably closer to the end of my retrieve. All over the place. There's a whole set of waves coming through. Let's get our bait down under those waves and just kind of do a medium retrieve. This is a pretty slow reel, by the way, guys, so I have to crank a little on the fast side. This is a Daiwa Ballistic 4000 MQ. A little, it's too slow for perch fishing in my opinion, but my Shimano's in the shop, so. Okay, medium retrieve, we got waves breaking. The bite ought to be happening, there it is. Yep, I freaking called that one, huh? So, it's when the waves are washing over the bait that we seem to be getting the bites. So that's a great, oh, there's a bite. Okay, so look what the waves are doing right now. See, I got a fish on, the waves are breaking and rolling in. And that happens, I think that fish came. Great observation. I hope you guys appreciate what I'm doing here. And I'm just gonna keep it up. I think for the rest of the day, we're gonna keep paying attention to what the waves are doing when we get the bites. Let's go ahead and land this one together. Whoa, he's in that current at the end. That is so much fun when you get all that backwash and he gets some extra power in him. Oh, stay on. Yeah, he's still on. Maybe his hook's pretty good. It doesn't feel like a big fish, but we're gonna figure these fish out together, guys. These fish are hard to find, man. They're just really fun to chase. All the waves are breaking. Okay, I'm at the beginning of my retrieve here. Getting closer to mid-retrieve. There isn't really a set of waves coming through, I wouldn't say. There's some weight. That's a fish. That's a fish, guys. And that came about halfway through my retrieve. Probably in the second half of the retrieve, actually. He's pretty close in. So there are some fish sitting right up in front of me. I think there's like a drop off. I think there's like a lip. And they're sitting in that initial trough on the inside, right in front of me. This one feels heavy. It feels like a pretty good fish right here. We're about to find out. Definitely keeper though. Look at the waves we're doing though. Gotta keep up with that fish, man. If he moves towards me, we gotta be ready to crank. There he is. He's riding that skinny. Let's just pick him up. Drag him on up. Oh yeah. Might even be the fish of the day. Alright, we're back at it. And we're watching the waves, trying to understand what's going on. There was definitely some wave action happening when we caught that last one or two, and I just had a bite right there. In fact, that is fish on. That is fish on right there, and you can see there are lots of waves breaking in front of me. So, are we sensing a pattern yet, guys? I think so. And what I'll need to do then to test that is start keeping my bait in the water when there's no waves, when it's dead flat in between sets, and see if we continue to catch fish then as well. See if it even matters at all. But one thing I can tell you is keeping our bait in the water while the waves are breaking is working. And this fish right here feels like the catch of the day to me. This might be bigger than 12.5 inches. This might be we might be looking at a 15 right here. Oh my gosh, this fish. Oh, damn it. Damn it. Oh wait, he's still on. He's still on. When that wave broke, it actually just forced him up towards me in my direction. Dang, you know what? This one doesn't look a whole lot different than the last one I just caught, which was 12.5. I'm guessing that's probably about 13. Really pleased with the success that we're getting right now. It's just so awesome. There we go, guys. I want to thank you for being here right now, and please leave a comment right now and let us know what you think about this video, about the technique, the observations, the fishing, the catching. And if you want to come out and catch them like this with me, leave a comment, send me a message. I'd love to come interview you, get to know you, get you on cam so the whole community can get to know you. It'll be fun, you know, making a video is a blast. Catching fish is even funner. And I want to say I really do think that these larger hooks are my preference. I'm going after the big ones anyways. They have no problem slurping up a big #2 hook, and that is the Gamakatsu rebarb hook. And I've been fishing with the same bait the whole day. It's super glued on there. I haven't lost the tail yet. They're sucking up the whole thing. Is that a fish? That's a fish right there. That was at the end of my retrieve. Look up, guys. Look what's going on. It's pretty calm actually. But they seem to be feeding right there at the end against the bank. So this is a really steep, deep beach, and they're coming in and they're feeding on those sand crabs that are washing. I think they're feeding on those sand crabs that are washing in the backwash. So they're just like stacked up at that lip. Man, this fish is absolutely got. I'm gonna feed him some drag. Actually, I'm gonna loosen my drag. Yeah, there. I loosened my drag. Now we got us. Turn it up and crank. Because man, that thing was just, he had way too much power. Again, I'm gonna turn down my drag and just let him. Okay, and turn it back up. I had to. It was just putting too much pressure on the fish. I had to give him something. Okay, now turn up the drag and pull him up the sand. Wow, what a thick fish, dude. How are we doing over here, guys? Little reverse long arm. We're only catching little ones today. Oops, never mind. That's a honker, dude. Try to get some perspective here. I don't really care to measure my fish, but just for you guys I will. The tip of his back tail came all the way to 14, almost to 14. So that is a 14-inch surf perch, and got him on the flip-flops and socks grub with a #2 rebarb hook. He was right at the end of the retrieve, right in front of me. And you guys saw what the water looked like. We're paying close attention. So I think what I'm observing today is that they're sort of feeding like in the churn, in the wash. So what I mean by that is either if I get a bite at the end of the cast, the beginning of the retrieve, you know, mid-retrieve, it's when some waves are washing through and knocking sand crabs up off the sandbars. On the other hand, if it's right in front of me at my toes, that happens as there's water washing off the beach. And maybe there's some more waves washing on top of that, breaking and turning and keeping things stirred up. Whether they bite way far out or close in, it has to do with the churn and the stirring up of food. Let's go get some more. All right, let's go. He also has the Okuma SST. His is a 10'6" medium weight, and that is a beautiful looking perch. So here's Charlie Cote showing us how it's done. Keeps his reel out of the sand, and he's getting that on, it looks like a red pumpkin.
So this is a male surf perch.
Todd, let's show us how you can identify the male.
The anal fin has a split in it, or an empty place. The females,
this little slot right here,
yeah,
little divot in the, just get that in the sun so you can really see that little divot in the tail there.
in the surf.
Yeah, there's like lulls between. Every once in a while, it seems like the energy is upwards of 1,000 almost.
Yeah.
I'm down. I am washing away right now. Oh, wow. Did you see that? Oh. All right, speaking of safety in the surf, when two waves stack up on top of each other, they come up so fast and so hard, they can absolutely knock you right off your feet. It was exactly what you just saw happen to me anyways. Charlie managed to stay on his feet. I'm down. So that's why different people have different capabilities. You saw Charlie was able to stand on his feet there, and I went down. So, and some other people go down easier than others. All right, guys, so that's gonna wrap up our day. I think I've got 8 nice big perch in my pouch here, both fishing with the Okuma SST. I am using the 9-foot medium weight. Charlie is using a 10'6" medium weight. The Okuma SST, I gotta tell you, I don't think we ever need any other rod for perch fishing. It's really lightweight, and it's got just the right power for finessing those perch in. One final tip before my camera gives up. Guys, go scout every beach in your county. Go fish them all, get familiar with all those spots. On Sunday, I fished Oceano, didn't do very well. So today, 2 days later, I'm out here fishing with Charlie on his beach, and we did great. I'll probably come back out here and fish again tomorrow or the next day or something like that. When they stop biting out here, I might go check out the next spot. So I've got maybe 5 or 6 different beaches I can fish up and down the county. Don't get so zeroed in on one beach, because if it's not producing, then you'll have other options you can go check out the next day. So hop around. It's a tip that I gave on a Hook to Cook video. Scout your whole county, think bigger. Like if they're not biting over here, maybe they're biting over there. I'll see you next time, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Definitely like, subscribe, share if you want, but definitely leave a comment and let us know what you think of this video. See you next time.